Okay, so the Eagles just got some massive news ahead of their crucial matchup with the Cowboys that changes things significantly. As first off, it seems like the Birds have their answer regarding who their starting quarterback will be this week, and it's not the news that Eagles fans were hoping for. But even so, why are the Birds still extremely confident in their chances? Plus, the Eagles also got some other game-changing news as new reports revealed that the Birds defense won't have to worry about one of Dallas's biggest stars in this game, so just how much does that impact the Eagles' chances in this matchup? Meanwhile, Saquon Barkley is chasing history, and Jordan Mailata is doing something insane. So we're going to talk about that and all the other news leading into the Eagles matchup with the Cowboys starting right now. Hey guys, welcome to the Philly Fan 21 channel. If you're new, I'm Evan and I cover all things Philadelphia Eagles. And we are getting very close to the Birds' extremely crucial matchup with the Cowboys as the two NFC East rivals will face each other on Sunday at 1 p.m. in Philly, and it's going to be a really fun game. And one of the things that makes it so fun is that we are currently on Saquon Barkley record watch, as if the star running back gains 268 more rushing yards, or in other words, an average of 134 yards in each of the next two games, then Barkley would officially break Eric Dickerson's NFL record for the most rushing yards in a single season of 2,105. And Saquon theoretically will have a huge opportunity to pile up a good chunk of those yards in this game against the Cowboys, as Dallas has just the 27th ranked run defense in the NFL, as they allow around 136 yards per game on the ground. So again, theoretically, this is a golden opportunity for Barkley to rack up a ton of yards and get close to or possibly break the record. That being said though, in the event that the Eagles win this game and lock up the NFC East and the 2 seed, it's likely that Nick Sirianni would rest the starters in their Week 18 matchup with the Giants, including Barkley, meaning that in that scenario, he would then need to get 268 rushing yards this week alone to break the record. And that's probably exactly why Eric Dickerson himself doesn't think that Saquon will end up breaking the record, but at the end of the day, that really doesn't matter very much, and it'll just be a fun storyline to watch as the season winds to a close. And something else that was fun to watch was seeing Barkley, along with Jalen Hurts, give the guys that really make the magic happen some pretty special Christmas gifts. As if you don't know, Hurts and Barkley teamed up to give each Eagles offensive lineman a custom golf cart with their name and number on it, and their reactions were pretty awesome.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Where's the horn? Oh yeah! Yeah, man! Bad, man. Come on, get in there. They got it. Like a bunch of little kids.
It was definitely cool to see Jalen and Saquon team up to give the offensive linemen these awesome gifts. And just shout out to the big guys up front because they really are the unsung heroes of this team. And I do actually want to give one of these guys a little extra love, and that's left tackle Jordan Mailata, because the former rugby player is currently the highest graded player in the entire NFL. And yes, you heard that right, not the highest graded Eagle, not the highest graded tackle, not the highest graded lineman, but the highest graded player in the entire NFL. And I think it's important that we all recognize just how insane that is, because I think we often forget that this guy literally had never played football before the Eagles picked him in the 7th round in 2018, and from there Jeff Stoutland was able to develop him, and Mailata himself worked extremely hard to get to the point where he is now one of the best players in the entire league, and by this metric, quite literally the best. So again, that's just so insane, and I think it's a story that honestly doesn't get talked about enough. So again, huge credit to him for all his success. But now, getting to a story that has actually been talked about quite a bit in recent days, I figured I'd offer some commentary on the whole Nick Sirianni Zach Ertz quote-unquote altercation or beef or whatever you want to call it. And I'm going to tell you right now, this is just another thing that I think has been blown way out of proportion. As if you missed it, the two apparently had some sort of interaction after the Eagles-Commanders game, but if you look at the video of what actually happened, it doesn't seem like there's very much here. I mean, Ertz doesn't look very mad, Sirianni's smiling, and it honestly just looks like a little moment between two competitors and nothing more. But in case there was still any debate as to what happened, Ertz shut down all the drama when he was asked about it recently.
I'm not really going to get into the specifics, but just two people that I really love to compete, I would say. Nick and I had a great relationship when I was there. We still have a great relationship, and I think it's definitely been blown way out of proportion. We spoke, we're good. There's no ill feelings on my part, and I don't think there's any ill feelings on his part. It's just something in the heat of the moment probably got blown out of proportion. It may be misunderstanding, but at the end of the day, him and I are fine. Everyone knows how I feel about that place and that building.
Yeah, so there you go. Like I said, this was not a big deal at all. Like, obviously, we love Ertz. Sirianni's probably back on most fans' good side at this point, and both guys have that competitive fire that's important to have when you're trying to win at a high level. And it's not like they were being super disrespectful or that they hate each other because they had a little back and forth. So, again, this is just a huge nothing burger, and we don't got to talk about it anymore. And instead, we can switch our focus back to this crucial matchup between the Eagles and the Cowboys, where, of course, a lot is on the line for Philly. As like I said earlier, a win means clinching the NFC East and the 2 seed, but a loss makes next week's season finale against the Giants an absolute must-win game. So winning this weekend, avoiding that situation is obviously ideal, and ahead of the matchup, we actually have a few pieces of massive news coming from both sides that change this game significantly. So don't worry, we're going to talk about that and more in just a minute, but real quick, I do want to say, if you are enjoying this video and you don't want to miss any other Eagles coverage or content just like this coming throughout the rest of this entire season, then make sure you subscribe, and also really importantly, turn on notifications so you are notified instantly when one of these videos is uploaded. Trust me, you guys are not going to want to miss any of the Eagles coverage or content I got coming on this channel. I cover the Birds pretty much daily here, so if you want to stay up to date on all the latest Eagles news, this is the spot. So again, subscribe and turn on notifications, and also while you're at it, make sure you drop a like as well to show some support, because it really does help me out a ton. Let's see if we can get to 700 likes today. And now, with all that being said, let's get back into the video. So obviously, the number one storyline ahead of this game for the Eagles is their situation at quarterback and whether Jalen Hurts would be able to clear concussion protocol and play or not, or if it would have to be Kenny Pickett getting the start. And now that we're into the week, we all but pretty much have our answer to that question, as Jalen Hurts has been listed as a DNP at practice all week, and all signs point to him missing this game, especially after what Nick Sirianni said this morning.
Yeah, he's still in the protocol. It's going to be tough for him to make it this week.
Yeah, so obviously Jalen's chances of playing don't look great. Now, to be fair, the final injury report hasn't been released yet as I'm recording this video, and that'll come out later today, and that's when we'll officially know Hurts' status, but again, really all signs just point to him being out. So I think it's a pretty safe bet, and again, if that is in fact what happens, then that means that it'll be Kenny Pickett getting his first start as a Philadelphia Eagle, as he confirmed that he will be playing despite dealing with a rib injury this week. And like I've said all video, Pickett's first start this year comes in a pretty important game, as it's a huge rivalry matchup where a win puts them in great playoff position, while a loss makes next week an absolute must-win for them. So the Birds are certainly going to need Pickett to step up in this one, and judging by some recent comments, he seems to be ready for the moment.
Yeah, very, man. It's a big opportunity. Been working hard to stay ready. Felt like I was in a good position last game with my preparation. Now having a week to practice, I'll feel even better going into the stadium. So yeah, I'm excited. Just want to get the win.
What would the Eagles fan growing up say about having the chance to clinch the division at the Link against the Dallas Cowboys?
You'd be pumped up, man. You'd be pumped up. I got a lot of family coming. It's a surreal feeling, having this opportunity. So doing everything I can to be prepared and ready for it, and I'm excited.
It definitely would be awesome to see a guy who grew up as an Eagles fan come in his first start as a Philadelphia Eagle, beat the Cowboys, and clinch the division and the 2 seed. That being said, though, I do think that he's going to have to be better than he was last week if the Birds are going to get the win. But the good news is that not only do the Cowboys have the 21st ranked pass defense in the league, so it's a more favorable matchup for him there, but he also actually has gotten a week of practice preparing as the starter ahead of this game, as opposed to last week where he was just kind of thrown into the fire. And these practices have proved to be extra valuable due to the fact that Pickett hasn't really seen many reps with the starting receivers since being in Philly, so these practices this week have given him that opportunity to actually grow more of a connection and comfortability level with guys like A.J. Brown and DeVonta Smith, and really just establish somewhat of a rhythm with them going into the game. And Pickett himself emphasized the importance of this heading into the matchup.
It's huge for a quarterback. Timing is everything, especially in the NFL. Knowing how these guys get in and out of cuts, how they track the ball on deep balls and different things like that. It all plays in a quarterback and receiver play. So anything I can get with them extra or during practice is huge.
Are you getting extra with them?
Yeah, in between periods we'll get together, get to throw, and I'll watch them tape and send them some stuff that I see, and they'll do the same thing, vice versa.
Hopefully this practice time together has proved to be as valuable as Pickett says it is, and the Birds' passing game can operate smoother, more efficient, and just at a higher level than it did last week when Pickett was in there. And the same honestly goes for the run game, where hopefully the coaches made some adjustments to help account for Kenny's different, less mobile than Jalen's skill set. And if those things happen, then the Eagles obviously will have a pretty good chance of coming away with the win on Sunday. And Pickett's teammates seem to have a ton of confidence that he can get the job done.
I think he's been treating it like he was a starter every week, and that's what you got to do. You never know when your time's going to come, whether it's you're the backup quarterback or you're Fred, Kenny. You just never know, but that's the nature of the game. when your opportunity comes, you got to be ready for it. And if that is this week, he has a great opportunity, and he has 10 guys around him that believe in him and know that he can help us win a football game.
He's been great, man. Definitely because he's the guy that's been preparing us to get ready to play every week. And you see why we one of the best defense in the league now because of Kenny, because of the work he put in, helping us get better, man, throwing amazing dots on us a couple of times. He's throwing a lot of dots. So, we thankful for Kenny, man. Like I said, next man up mentality, and he's looking forward. I'm looking forward to watching him perform this week.
It's definitely great hearing these guys express a ton of confidence in Kenny, but what do you guys think? What do you expect from Pickett in what should be his first Eagles start? But now, getting to some other Eagles injury updates ahead of this game, Hurts aside, it seems like pretty much everybody else, besides maybe Will Shipley and also now Britton Covey, who missed practice today after being a full participant on Wednesday and Thursday, so it seems like he may have suffered some sort of setback, which definitely does stink. But aside from those guys, it seems like pretty much everybody else should be able to play, including Bryce Huff, who has been a full participant at practice all week and looks like he's set to make his return. And then even the guys who have been limited at times seem to have been trending up throughout the week, and that includes Nakobe Dean, Josh Sweat, and AJ Brown. So again, even though they all have been limited and are dealing with injuries, they don't seem to be too serious, and based on the info that we do have, I'd be willing to bet that they'll play on Sunday. But again, we'll just have to wait and see what the final injury report looks like in probably just a couple hours, maybe less than that from when this video is uploaded. However, we don't have to wait for the Cowboys' final injury report to get an update on one of their best players, as we just got a massive update on CeeDee Lamb yesterday that completely changes this game, as the star wide receiver will reportedly miss the rest of the season while dealing with a shoulder injury. Now, this is an injury that he's played through for a while now this season, but with Dallas eliminated from the playoffs, I guess they just figured the smartest thing to do would be to shut him down. So, like I said, that obviously changes this game for the Eagles quite a bit, as Lamb is the biggest weapons that the Cowboys got on offense, and without him, in theory, that makes Dallas's offense a lot less dangerous. However, it doesn't really seem like Darius Slay sees it that way.
How much will that change the dynamic of their offense?
I don't think it would, because that's just who, I done played against McCarthy, for a long time. And he done been without a lot of his key guys before when he was in Green Bay and I was in Detroit. So it don't really change too much of how he operates. He got a one time of trick pony. He do what he do, and he does it well.
I mean, I guess those are fair points by Slay, and I'm definitely glad that he and the Eagles defense aren't taking this matchup lightly, even without Lamb. That being said, though, if we're being real, not having him definitely hurts the Cowboys offense significantly, and Nick Sirianni definitely agrees that not having Lamb changes things in this one.
Yeah, he's a phenomenal football player. And anytime you're going against a dynamic player like he is, you're obviously think about ways that you don't allow him to beat you, and how you take him away. And so, there's obviously part of our thought process and our game planning, is a part of that, and so you adjust as you need to.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, Lamb is a very dangerous weapon, so him not being there definitely changes things, and it no doubt makes this matchup much easier for the Birds. And overall, even without Jalen, I feel confident in the Eagles' chances in this matchup, and I'm going to pick them to win by a score of 24-14. But what do you guys think? You can give me all your score predictions down in the comments below. And also, while you're at it, again, if you don't want to miss any other Eagles coverage or content coming throughout the rest of the season, then make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications. And also, while you're at it, make sure you drop a like to show some support. Again, it really does help me out a ton. Let's see if we can get to 700 likes on this video. And if you want to watch another Eagles video going over some stuff from earlier in the week, you can check this out right here. And now with all that being said, that's pretty much all I got for this one, guys. So thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.